How are you? We're on the air.
Good morning, Dr. Klein.
I'm using that now. I'm Dr. Klein. I'm gonna be Dr. Klein.
That's who you are.
That's who I am. It's part of who I am.
Yeah, that's who
How,
you are.
how are you this morning?
I am good. I've been pretty busy. And then I have a little sore throat, I
Oh,
think.
how come?
But I don't know, for my children probably, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I had a meeting earlier with another friend and I was telling him, oh, I have a headache, I have a headache, I have a headache. And then at the end, we decided that me keep on saying I have a headache confirms the headache,
Right.
right?
It reinforces it for sure. Yeah.
Has reinforced it. So I
Yeah.
don't have a headache.
So as coaches, like for me, if somebody came to me with that problem, I would first of all say, well, are you resisting the headache, or are you letting it be and becoming aware of it?
I am letting it be. I am aware that there is a headache in here. That's not who I am. So it's going to go away.
I like that. That's not who I am. I'm not my headache.
There. It's there. I am.
Oh, hey, Steve. Steve said he just posted terrific twosome. We're a terrific twosome. We are.
What?
We're a terrific twosome.
Yes. Him and the headache.
Oh, no. Steve Hardison was watching and he just posted
Oh,
that.
us. Oh, hey. Hi,
So
Steve.
salt. Oh, he said salt and pepper extraordinaire. So,
Yes. Your hair too is
but
in France, your
yes,
hair color, we call it salt and pepper.
salt
So
and salt and pepper. Yeah, yeah. So, how do you feel about the daylight savings time?
well, it's funny because I used to be, I remember past years, I would be like, okay, it's 3, but actually it's 4, or it's 5, actually it's 6. That's how I used to do it. But
Yeah,
yesterday, I just found myself going with it. So my daughter
yeah,
was tired at 6:30 because she goes to bed at 7.
yeah.
And so she was falling asleep at the dinner table. And I was like, well, it might be 6:30, but for her it's 7:30.
Yeah, she hasn't caught up with that yet. She didn't get the memo that we're
Harder.
changing
And
the
this
time.
morning she woke up at 5:30,
Yeah,
which was good because we had to drop Isaiah off. We had to leave the house at 6 to drop him off for his hockey morning practice. So because she was always already up, I didn't have to.
so he practices hockey, like, is that every day, like an early practice before
His
school?
practice after is every day after school, but they do morning workout.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
was morning workout 2 or 3 times a week. So it's early. Yeah, it's 6 in the morning. Last week, the week before, it was 5:45, but this time it's 6, which is good.
There's a good lesson in there, I think. I never did organized sports in high school or junior high, but there's a good lesson as far as work ethic, and it's like this is an extra thing. This is extra
Yeah,
beyond school.
I like how it is because it's already very structured. And something else that they do that I really love is that they have a set schedule. They
Mhm.
always have the same things every day
Yeah.
for school. So I think it builds, we talk about the consistency and the
Yes. Yeah.
perseverance. So, by they keep doing the same thing, the same schedule. So it kind of help them in getting organized and structured.
Yeah. I like to live my life according to there are things I need to do every day, and I could work a little more on scheduling them and being consistent about scheduling, but
Yes, I used to be not very good at scheduling, but what I do now, and actually even yesterday as we were doing the book reading on the document I was writing, I have this, what do you use as a scheduler? I have this one, the high performance
oh,
planner.
so you have it like the paper, like if you open that up, does it show like a whole week or?
It's daily.
Oh, it's daily. Okay.
And this one is very good. It's Brandon Burkhardt. I think he's very well known. My good friend, who I look up to very much, Magdalena, she's the the director of the Montessori school where my children go. And I use a lot of planner. I'm still a paper planner. I do love to write. When I
Mhm.
write things, that's when they
Yeah.
get crystallized.
Yeah. Yeah.
I identified myself like that, and I kind of confirm it, but I do like it. And so every year I have a planner, and they're heavy because I like to write a lot. I like to take notes, and this year I wanted to have something different. I bought this one that was very small that I'm still using at the same time at a glance, just
I used to use that when I used a paper kind of, and that's a week. That's a week. You looking at a week
that's a
on two
week one,
pages.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I like that format.
it's like that. And
Yeah. And
I
I
love
like
it.
that iCal, which I use now on the computer. That's the same view, or one of the views you can have is here's the whole week sectioned out by hours, and here's where all my appointments live.
Yeah. And then, so I wanted something, with more of goals. And so I like this one because, you have a morning mindset. You have the
Oh, I like that.
top days, top 3 goals, priorities, tasks that must absolutely be done today. And then you also have a page for evening journaling,
Oh, nice.
at moment that I
Nice.
really appreciated today was, and daily habits scorecard, clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. So I like it, and I've been using it more and more. And the thing is, it's something that you can use. It's for 12 weeks. So it's pages, and it doesn't have a date. So I put the date myself.
Oh, there's no dates in the whole thing,
There's
and
no
you
date.
just choose the dates. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like it. I don't use it every day. Still to plan my stuff, I use at a glance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have a business partner for my corporate work, and we had a little argument because he wanted me to have everything on the computer,
On
have.
like the Google, does he use like a Google Calendar or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because I accepted an appointment with him, but I had a different time on my paper planner. And so I was like, I have that in my paper planner. He's like, but you accepted this one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we had this conversation where he
Yeah.
was telling me, you should go by that's in universal. And I'm like, no, I like my paper thing. I am a journalist, remember? I like paper. And so it was a funny conversation.
Actually, I don't know if Steve's still watching, but I like what he says about time, agreeing on time. You don't have to be on time, but time is a good way to measure commitment.
Yeah.
Like if you both agree on a time, it's like
we were both committed. I was
Yeah.
committed at the time through my journal, my paper notebook, and he was committed to the time with his calendar, so we were both
Yeah,
committed.
that's one of the tricky things now. For you and I, we have a 2-hour difference, and talking to people all over the world, it's like that's another calculation you have to.
I think what's
make.
important there is the agreement. So there is a commitment and there is an agreement. So we have to agree that him and I, we ended up saying, okay, we agree that the time that you accept on the, through the computer is going to be our reference. So
Okay. Yeah.
It's on me
Yeah.
to agree there and to take that agreement and translate it into my paper, so there is agreement. And I learned that, I remember last time at my landmark forum, that the whole world, everything is based on agreements. The time of the day is based on agreements. What you eat, conventions, it's people being okay. The laws are agreements. Everything, the whole world, even the language, we agree that these are the words that we will use. We agree on the dictionary.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Yeah, one of my lines in my document is that I keep my agreements.
That's very good.
Yeah, and then I added on, especially my agreements with myself, and that's one that's a challenge.
That one is, what? It used to be a challenge for me. Like I even wouldn't consider the agreement with myself, but I had actually this conversation this morning with my son when I was driving him to his hockey workout, morning workout. As I told him that what was the most important for me right now is my agreement with myself.
Yeah.
And I told him something very simple. I'm in a conversation with someone, and I said to myself that I will not write back to that person if he hasn't written back to me, because my son was asking, oh, did you, answer, did you write back to this person? And I was like, Yeah, but you know what? I agreed with myself that
So
I
you have an agreement on how the conversation is going to go, and yeah, yeah,
yes, and I would, I wouldn't keep those kind of agreements. I'd be like, oh no, I want, do that. And then a minute later, I would be doing the same thing that I
uh,
said to myself that I wouldn't do
yeah, yeah.
because I wouldn't see it as an agreement. And yeah, lately it has been on my mind to really make sure that I keep my agreements with myself because everything starts with me. And I
Oh, I
realize
like that. That's really good. That's really good. Everything starts with me, and so I keep my
me,
agreements.
the way I love others. If I don't love myself, I won't be able to love. If I
Right.
don't love myself, I won't be able to give to you very authentically. So I
Uh,
said, yeah. So it's a choice now to focus on my part on the agreements I keep with myself.
I have an agreement with myself that I have just started, is that when I wake up in the morning, I turn off the alarm, and then when I put my feet on the floor, I say I love myself. Right. And then I'll either look in the mirror, or probably better to look in the mirror than on the phone. And James, I love you.
That's
Right.
good. You
Yeah.
share that,
And then in the third person, James, he loves himself. That's the guy. That's who he is. Right. Dr. James loves himself. Right.
Share that on your Toastmaster. That's the talk you
That's
gave
the
on.
talk I did at Toastmasters a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's good. I think self-love is good. I know some people get turned off. Somebody told me, I was listening to your podcast and I got turned off. I stopped when you started talking about self-love as ultimate, spirituality. And
Oh, well, maybe they'll come around, because I'm never going to change my mind about that.
no, that I mean, something that is true is that that's true for you, and I will not try to convince you of the contrary, and I will not
Yeah,
try to convince my friend as well that she should, change because I firmly believe that, two things can be true.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
true to you, and
yeah,
what she believes is true for her, and I want to respect that. That's very important to me, to
yeah.
respect
And
what
if she
other.
doesn't want to come along on this ride, that's fine.
That's her. What I
That's
respect her.
yeah,
I love her for whatever she believes in
yeah.
because she thinks that, I mean, whatever she believes in, she has given it a lot of thoughts.
Yep.
And I respect her and I respect that for her.
That's really good, though. I hope you wrote that down somewhere. I'll write it.
What?
Whatever she believes in, she's given that a lot of thought.
Of course.
That's so good.
I
Yeah.
think I got that from a lady I was listening to. I can't remember her name, but during COVID, and it was even before the vaccination and everything.
Mm.
And some people were arguing, about the mask, wearing mask, not wearing
Yeah.
mask,
Yeah.
and then getting vaccinated and not getting vaccinated. And she was saying that spending time trying to convince someone is a waste of time, and
Oh,
it's
yeah. Yeah.
also
Yeah.
a sign of non-respect to the other person. We
Oh,
can share
yeah,
our
I like that. Yeah.
views.
Yeah.
We can share our views. I can tell you what I think, and I will listen to you.
Yes.
But I should not try to convince you of to you to adopt my thoughts. You will adopt my thoughts if what I tell you makes sense to you or not.
Right.
And
Yeah.
to believe that whatever choice, because imagine that it was a question of life and death for some.
Yeah.
So whatever I choose, be sure that it has been really put under the radar to know exactly
Yeah.
what it was good for me or not. So if I
Yeah.
choose to not get vaccinated, it's because I believe that it will save my life more to not get vaccinated than to get vaccinated. And the person who chooses to get vaccinated will believe the same thing for himself. So, I mean, it led to a lot of people fighting and
Yeah.
probably unfriending one
Oh,
another.
sure. There's lots of division about that. I just wanted to mention, because this came to my head. When we put this out, there's going to be a notice on it about COVID vaccination below, because they will go through the audio, and if there's any mention of the word vaccination, they'll put something about misinformation or
But don't do it. Don't
whatever.
write COVID, not to hide. We're not hiding information, but I think it's
But
important
it's going to be just because we mentioned it. It's going to be, the notice is going to be there.
that we mentioned COVID.
Then we mentioned and then we mentioned the word vaccination.
So you have to write it on the notification.
No, it's there. Some artificial intelligence is listening to our conversation, and because we did it happened before once, and I said, "Oh, that's there because we mentioned we talked about."
Oh, and what does the artificial? What does it say? What does it say?
I can't remember. I'd have to look back, or those of you who are watching right now, you could look back later on in a couple of hours and see.
Wow.
And see what it says, but it's obviously, it's not some random person out there, unless it's Steve or whoever is watching, right? But it's not some random person. It's actually a computer listening to our conversation and decoding certain words. It's very fascinating.
Fascinating. And you know, my website is beautifullywoman.com.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put my website on Facebook because I think it has been identified as something illicit.
Oh, wow, that's so
for
interesting.
adult people only, or
Yeah.
But I can't write, when I write beautifullywoman.com, it doesn't go through on Messenger or on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've noticed that, and I'm
That
like,
is really fascinating.
yeah, so I need to, kind of redirect my website, to another, maybe it's just my name, sabellemilimono.com,
Yeah.
for me to be able to advertise it. But it's funny, yes, how, yep. I mean, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is now.
Big brother is watching.
That's right. Well, we got it. We're out of time. We're over time as usual, because our conversations are fantastic every single day. So tomorrow, did you know that tomorrow is our 50th
Oh, wow. No,
episode?
that's amazing.
So you are all, if you're watching now or tomorrow or later on the replay, you're invited to join us for, I don't know what we're doing, probably nothing. We're probably just sitting around and talking just like we are today.
But having inspired conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
That leads us to action most of the time too. So
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna cut it off.
Have a wonderful day.
Everybody have a great